I have a theory, and it has to do with churches. Okay? My theory is called the traditional ceremony theory, or TCT to shorten it. Okay, we'll make an acronym out of it. The TCT theory for me is that if there is a traditional ceremony where they're getting married in a church, it's off-site, so it's not like in the same place as the venue, right? It's not like the on-site ceremonies that we almost always do nowadays. If it happens to be a traditional ceremony in a church, people party harder. This is my theory. I shouldn't be drinking Pellegrino. I'm going to be burping. This is my theory, okay? And I'll tell you why. Let's talk about the timeline. Our normal timeline nowadays for most weddings, okay, is you have ceremony, you go right into cocktail hour, right into reception. Everything's right in a row. It's a 5.5 hour timeline, you know, at least where I'm at, but it might be longer, whatever you're at. But generally speaking, right, you have the ceremony on location, you go right into cocktail hour, right in your reception, however long that may be. Okay, with this timeline, you're looking at an hour of drinking prior to the reception, where you sit down, you have to watch the formalities, intros, first dances, speeches, and then you go to dinner, okay? So you have an hour of just like hanging out, talking, drinking, conversing, whatever. In our, you know, our most usual wedding timeline. But if you go back to the traditional timeline, you see that gap there? I think that gap makes a difference. You tell me if I'm crazy. I had 2 weddings this weekend without ceremonies on location. 2 weddings where the couple got married in a church, and they hit different, okay? Because you have a, up to 3 hour gap between the ceremony and cocktail hour where you could drink. Then you have the hour-long cocktail hour where you can drink. And my theory it's basically because you have so much downtime in between the ceremony and then when you get to the reception, right? So you start cocktail hour and all that. You get bored, you go have lunch, you're going to start drinking. You're going to have a couple drinks. You get bored, you're with all your homies, or you're with your friends or whatever, and you go back to the hotel, you're going to drink at the hotel, while you're waiting because you're excited. They just got married. You're pumped up. If you care about the couple, they just got married. It's like, woo, they're married. Reception's coming. It'll be here in no time. You're excited. You're pumped up. You're going to drink. So you have all this time to pregame, essentially. Then you get to the wedding and you have a whole cocktail hour with free drinks. So the theory is that more downtime equals drunker guests, equals more twerking, equals better party, equals happy DJ. That's my whole equation. That's the technical equation. I'm putting it out there. This is my TCT theory. And I didn't really pick up on this because almost all my weddings are on location anymore. So you almost forget about, the whole traditional wedding thing and what that vibe is like. You almost forget about it. It's 95% anymore. It's crazy. It's almost always. So to have 2 out of 3 weddings this weekend be in a church and then you just see the guests coming in, trickling in for cocktail hour and all that. They hit different. I'm telling you, they came in. Everybody's already been drinking. A lot of them already been drinking. And I think it might make a difference. So what does this mean for us if I'm right? I mean, you let me know. I mean, maybe you think I'm wrong, but if you think I'm right, if you think it's a possibility I'm right, what does this mean for us? Not much. I mean, nothing we need to really change up. Only the fact that, I'm kind of going to look forward to weddings that don't have the ceremony. Yeah, I'm not doing the ceremony setup, so you make a little less money, potentially. But I think generally they have the potential to be way better parties. Unless, of course, your ceremony is 2 hours away from the reception. In those odd instances where people are literally just driving an hour and a half in between ceremony and the reception place, and they get there just in time for cocktail hour. People are arriving late because the ceremony was so far away. Then that's a worst case scenario. But if everything's in the same town, generally, walking distance is even better. You walk to the church, walk back to your hotel room, walk somewhere to pregame, then walk to reception, that sort of thing. You're kind of set up for a good party, in my opinion. But you let me know what you think. That's my TCT theory, or TCT for short. TC theory.